library fans. Today we're going to look at something that is really easy for you to dig into, but it helps with career planning. So in my library assignment, you'll see that there's a career center on campus. These things exist all over the place, including in some businesses where they're just like, whoa, are you ready for our, there's like a railway engine or engineering group downtown that's doing like a career day. At any rate, be that as it may, what does the US government do and how can we find objective evidence for what we're looking for? Please come along with me to Occupational Outlook Handbook. You can just Google this. So the Department of Labor, in collaboration with the United States Census, gathers all sorts of data on how much people make, their demographic. Do you remember when we looked at the census and it's just like, well, there's people this age, that they live here, and maybe they have an incidence of this level of income. This is sussed out into the areas of what people do for a living and where it's done and trends, whether it's going up or down, that sort of a thing. It's really fun to look in, but I want to show you a couple ways of digging around. You could get frustrated by just kind of noodling around in here because they have like a couple, like this one's kind of misleading. So you're just like, I want to do the highest paying job. But then you go in there and you're just like, well, I don't want to do any of these things, or I'm not qualified to do any of those things. So we're going to answer questions of like, what do you want to do? And what does it take to get into it? Or what's your degree? And what can you do with your degree is like a side question. Let's start with that one. Say, for example, I was going into communication. You can type in some majors. The Department of Labor is building these, so not every major is going to be represented. But you can see, look for field of degree. Field of degree, communication, one of the more popular degrees on our campus for undergraduate students. And you can see all sorts of different infographics. But if you come down here, you should be able to find jobs. So 67% of one of these occupational groups is where like the common people ended up as of 2021. Isn't that cool? There's all sorts of stuff to go in here. And you can see, oh, maybe I could be a lawyer, maybe I'd be a market research analyst. If you don't know what to do with your degree, there's lots of different options going in here. So that's not one of the questions though. So first one is, what is your dream job? My dream job is librarian. Think of a job that you want to do. Every thing that shows up in the US Census or as in the North American Industrial Classification System or all sorts of different things like this, if you pay taxes for an occupation, you remember when you put your occupation on your taxes? You're like, what is that for? Well, it goes here. So cupcake baker to fish hatchery manager to librarian shows up here. So question number one, what's your dream job? All you have to do is find a page that's close to it. Doesn't have to be the exact one. And then copy the URL. Tell me what it is and then copy the URL. Second question, what is needed? If you go across, so these are fun to cruise through, but if you go across these tabs, how to become one. What education is needed? Well, then it'll tell you right here. Typically needs this, maybe needs a certificate, maybe needs this, that, the other thing. So that's the second question. Third question, what is a similar occupation? This is my favorite thing because I was just like, oh, I'm a librarian, but what else can I do with that? Where's that one? Oh, here it is, similar occupations. So if I wanted to move to one occupation or another, these are the most likely ones that I could go to. High school teacher, yay, I'd love to do that. I mean, in spirit, I don't know if I really would be great at that. Museum workers. I could move from librarian to a library assistant. You get to decide what are the ones that's a similar occupation that's interesting to you. Last question. What are you doing right now? If you look at this, if you look at similar occupations, if you look at the degree, if you look at how to become one, I'd like you to answer a question that doesn't show up in here. It's like, what are you doing right now? Are you getting a particular degree? Are you doing extra studies? Are you getting an internship? That's just kind of a free question. I've loved working with you all. This is due by the end of finals week.